Hello twin flames, this is Victoria and I'm here with your daily energy check. I hope you guys are doing terrific. Hope you're having yourself a great warm fall weekend. At least that's what we have here in New York area. But regardless of where you are, what the weather is like in that area, I'm sure that you have a way to make it a beautiful, cozy day for yourself. Okay, let's get started. It's gonna be a classic read today. Tomorrow, I'm gonna be doing a special read dedicated to the lunar eclipse that we're gonna be experiencing on November 8th. For some of you, November 7th. So yeah, I'll speak a lot more about what it means, depending on which zodiac sign you are, how's it gonna impact you, but it's gonna be a big deal. This is gonna be the finishing event of this eclipse season. It's still gonna be felt in the air till end of November, the good part of November. So yeah, it's important to be even more conscious during this time, I would say, right? To pay attention to every little thing that comes up, every memory, every sensation, the mood you're in, the people you meet, the opportunities you get, all of it. And I'm not just saying like you experience it and you run with it. Maybe that's your style and that's fine. For me, it's not my style personally. But what I realized with time is that it is important to acknowledge it and almost like write it down for yourself if you can, so that you don't forget about it, because it means something. Even if it doesn't require immediate action, it was brought into your attention, to your consciousness for a reason. That's key. That you can be sure about. For example, this morning I was looking, I do follow J-Lo on Instagram. Started fairly recently, but yeah, I do admire that woman for many different reasons. And today they had a story about celebrating 20 years of her album This Is Me Then. And I just realized like it just exploded with a ton of memories for me. And you would think like it's just a pop album, and to be honest, I'm not like, I am a person of music, but I'm not that much into music, especially pop music. And it's not like I owned every single album or knew every single song. That was not me. But it just happened so that I bought this album when I was in the US. I was a foreign exchange student at the time. And that was literally like my first experience with owning CDs. We were just getting started with listening to CDs on the computer. If you had a player with CDs, it was like, oh my God, because the player I had was a tape for tapes. And there was radio as well, yeah. So, and I bought them even before I had a computer to play them on. But I was in the US and I had this opportunity to do it. And this was one of them. And I loved it so much. Like it holds, because it also reminds me of the times in the US when I was listening to it, what was happening with me at the time, how precious it was to me to keep it. And I still have it. I still have that physical CD that I bought then. And I don't bring a lot of things of mine with me because I've been traveling, I've been moving between countries, between places over the last 10 years. It's been kind of a roller coaster, really. But I still have that CD, and I found it this morning and I was like, oh my God, yeah, I gotta listen it now. To be honest, I'm not even sure that I can listen to the CD itself right now. I have one device that can play it, but it's been acting up lately. Well, not lately, but the last time I tried using it. So maybe I'll just have to go with that album on Spotify. I don't know. But that was insane of how much it brought up to my mind and of what my worldviews were when I was 15, right? Or whatever age that was. I think it was 15. So, yeah, things like that. This was just one example. Yeah, a little bit of personal sharing. But you know what I mean. That's what I mean. That's what I mean, right? So do not take experiences that you come across for granted, especially during this time. And we got quite a few cards for Divine Feminine today. So yeah, we'll do our classic read. I do have the Hermit Tarot for the messages, so let's see how it goes. I brought the holographic cards today, so it's gonna be bright. You see, I'm wearing bright. This is gonna be bright. Divine Feminines, ask wonderfully, receive graciously. If you don't know where to go, what decision to make, ask for help, ask question. If you don't understand what certain experience means, ask. You are at the divine why point. Yes, decision is needed for sure, and you are being shown that decision. Fulfill your destiny as a cosmic change maker. The choice is supposed to be in alignment with this idea. You are a cosmic change maker, Divine Feminine. So which decision is gonna bring you closer to fulfilling this mission? Okay, let's see what we have for Divine Masculines. You will only see the way by making the way. Yes. Divine Masculines are reminded that it's not just so easy that you can copy what other people are doing and you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be as successful. You don't really have to make up anything of your own. Nope. Still have to be created and to create your own path. And again, as twin flames, we don't really have things that easy. And that's, I mean, it's not like it's not that the divine wants to make it harder for us. It's just that we have so much power, so much potential, that it's just simply it be only realizing, like, I don't know, let's say 5% of our talent of what we can do in this world with our potential. And that's just not good enough. That's why it's not going to be working for us. I mean, because we're so unique, it's just a general natural law that the same thing is not going to work the same way. The same direction is not going to work the same for different people. But for twins, it's especially true. And it's good to recognize other people's experience, to learn from them, to acknowledge them. That's one of the ways we are learning about the world, if anything. But then it's about taking it in, but also kind of mixing it up, blending it, and creating something beautiful, something different. Okay, let's move on with the tarot. Got the Grand Lux Tarot today. So let's see what's going on with Divine Feminine energy. The Magician, love it. Keep seeing the Magician from time to time. So yeah, it's quite significant that it falls in this reading. For the masculines, we have 5 of Coins, kind of on the side. So I'm gonna keep that in mind when reading it, but we'll pull a clarifier as well. And let us know what's going on with the twin flame connection at the moment. 9 of Swords in reverse. Okay. Okay. Let's pull some holographic clarifiers. Please clarify the Magician for Divine Feminines. I'm actually with this, it has like images of runes, but also the chemist, the alchemist set that I'm also getting this, the owl, I'm getting this learning from the ancestors, learning to manifest from the ancestors. This is actually very interesting because the knowledge that we get, because that information that keeps flowing through DNA, then it's useful to know what your ancestors were good at, what they were like, what kind of environment they lived in, because this could be the key to, you know, some easier or faster ways to manifest, right? Like almost like your hidden gifts, right? Things that you already learned that is going to be a lot easier for you to grasp in this lifetime, right? Also, it's like getting extra ingredients so you can cook something even more amazing in this lifetime. Please clarify 5 of Coins for the masculines. Alrighty, you have 6 of Swords and 10 of Wands. 10 of Wands. Please clarify 9 of Swords in reverse for the connection. We got 9 of Wands and 4 of Swords. A lot of Swords and Wands today. So thoughts and actions. Very conscious space. Okay, so feminines, you have the Magician clarified by Two of Pentacles. What I'm seeing with these cards is that, in addition to what I already said, is that, so if you have a chance to connect with your ancestors and to study more, at least remind yourself more of what they were doing in their life, what kind of times they lived in, what they believed, what they were good at, maybe some words of wisdom from them, whatever it is, that would do you well. And another important aspect of it, especially with this Two of Pentacles as a clarifier, is that it's important to have this flow of energy and flow of information between 3D and 5D space. It's not that either of those is better than the other. No, they're equally important for this experience in this lifetime, right? Because 5D is giving us this extra, just like this satellite internet connection, satellite or internet, whatever, or satellite internet, why not? That is giving you this access to information throughout realms, throughout history, throughout the collective in the world, right? This huge database of knowledge. A lot of times it's metaphysical knowledge. The knowledge is also presented in the energy, in the form of the energy, right? So you still have to decrypt it for yourself. But 3D is helping us experience something tangible, something that our body and our psyche understands and remembers, right? This is something that settles in our thoughts, in our words, and in our actions. And that's equally as important, because you can have all the energetic information in the world, but if it doesn't then translate into how you think, how you live your life, how your body feels, what you do in the 3D, it doesn't really make a lot of difference for you in this lifetime. So yeah, it's important. I had it the other day in one of my readings for the zodiac signs for November. By the way, I'm still working on those, but you're welcome to check them out in my other channel, Mindful Bamboo. I'll post the rest of them today. There was this concept of like body and soul, right? Like connecting both in the relationship. So this is similar just with your whole life, basically. It's important to not to just favor either 3D or 5D learnings, right? And ignore the rest. I think that the rest is not very important. They're equally important. For the masculines, we have 5 of coins, and it was on the side, if you remember, and we have 6 of swords and 10 of wands here. So divine masculines are sort of trying to juggle certain things, to balance certain things in their life. And you see, to me, like this picture almost like tells about like juggling something in the hands, trying to get out of issues with finances, trying to make things work, get a break, right? So you don't have to be in a, like sometimes we can get in a hustle where we're like trying to make some money to pay off some debt, or we need to buy something new suddenly, so we're in search of extra money again. It's like a lot of this hustle, and divine masculines are on the way of like getting out of it, really getting putting those hustles behind and getting into a more stable place where they feel like they can be the provider for their life and for the life of whoever is dependent on them. It's almost like it's reached not just through putting in extra hours, it's more about rethinking the approach in general, right? And for some, it will mean that they will stop providing for some other people who can do it for themselves or should be able to do it for themselves. For others, it's more about, let's just be wise about what our needs are. So we don't just keep spending money thoughtlessly, right? Just like, oh, I feel like I need to buy this, I'll buy this. No, but really thinking what is important to us, what do we need the money for, right? And maybe there are some things in life that we don't need money for, right? That we can again create ourselves, or we can get them some other way. It's like a complete, and that's about making the way rather than just following the way that's already paved by someone else. Very beautiful. Okay, for the connection, we have 9 of swords in reverse, clarified by Four of Swords and Nine of Wands. So the twins are working on their fears, and fear is not necessarily about the relationship. For some it will be, for some it's a fear of what is my future going to be like in this relationship. Let's call it relationship for a minute. I know a lot of light workers have a problem with calling it that way for twins, but at the end of the day, again, in our conscious 3D life, it's still a relationship. Yeah, at some point, hopefully it's gonna be like the relationship, the best relationship ever, but still it's a relationship, right? So it's twins are considering, like, they have certain fears, they have certain things to kind of mold in their head, to process, and they understand that it's not all that bad, but because it's so different, it's scary. So this is about, but this is in reverse, this card of, and usually it's anxiety and sleepless nights, right? Also, by the way, seeing some ghosts here, and to me, again, kind of like speaking to the ancestors or to the souls, to the guides that want to help you, right? This is not being scared of it anymore. This is getting into the energy of, okay, this is interesting, and maybe it's gonna take me some time, but I'm gonna figure it out, how that's gonna work. Why is this in my life? This is the twins actually acknowledging and accepting that their twin, their counterpart, is that special someone, is the one. But this is not like, oh yeah, it like checks all the boxes that I've ever dreamt of. No, that's the thing, that's the inner conflict, right? Because it feels so great and they cannot deny it anymore. It's like this, someone is amazing, yes, they are the one, but the conscious mind is still not catching up with why or how is it gonna work for us, because I never really imagined myself with this kind of person, or, you know, leading this lifestyle, or I know that I'm headed towards this way of living, and I'm not sure that person is gonna come along with me because they have a life that's very, very, very different from what I'm envisioning for myself. It's those kind of considerations. So it's a healthy process of sort of working through that, and somewhere adjusting expectations, somewhere keeping an open mind, but ultimately with this Four of Swords here, finding peace, finding harmony, right? And being able to move peacefully with what is happening on the journey. Being receptive to what is being sent by the universe, by the higher power. Messages from DMs to DFs. Okay. We have, if I follow you, I could lose everything. Think before you act. And I'm getting with this one, they really want to think, like, this actually goes along with what I was just saying. Divine masculines don't want to just be reckless and leave everything they've worked for just for this relationship. They want to make it wise, in a wise way, so that it can benefit everybody involved. And they know that there is a way, but it may take a minute to figure it out. Then we have, I'm too afraid to talk to you, I'm terrified. Yeah, so this is that Nine of Swords, anxiety. That's scary. But at the same time, I want to start a family with you. So yeah, it's to me, it's a confirmation of what I was just talking about for the connection energy. So yeah, let's see what we have from feminines and masculines now. Okay. The last two that turned together were definitely an any time for me. So yeah, this is actually Four of Swords as well. So it falls in the same category. Again, continuation of what I was talking about. Divine Feminine is receiving a lot of information in 5D and 3D, and it's time to reconcile all of it and to kind of marry it together so it flows as a system, right? Because our brain is trying to put everything in a system. So to a certain extent, we need that understanding, that clarity, that stability. Otherwise, our psyche is just gonna go crazy with all the chaos in the world. Like, you know, you need to have certain safety, certain reliability in your life of things you understand and you follow kind of those principles, that lifestyle, you know, you can rely on certain people. It's important to us psychologically. I just want space and let me hold you. Oh wow, yeah. So this tells me that also divine feminists realize that they have a lot to figure out on their own. Of course, they still miss the DMs, and the ideal picture is for them to be figuring it out together. And you can see 6 and 7 is 13, which is the number of transformation of what we're talking about in November. But with their conscious mind, they realize that, you know, it's one step at a time, one day at a time. For now, you know, we are in a perfect place, exactly where we're supposed to be, doing exactly what we're supposed to. Okay, I'll leave you here, guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this has been good for you, and I'll be back tomorrow with the lunar eclipse reading. So that's going to be a little bit different format, and yeah, make sure to tune out tomorrow and make sure to like this video. Okay, love you, bye.